All right, today we're going to talk about handling. So, um, we need to make sure that our dogs are okay with us using a brush and also with handling their ears and feet in order to do things like putting eardrops in or nail trims. We need to be able to touch their legs and have them not want to run away from us. So one of the ways that I like to do it is I like to just have my treats in a bowl available where they can see it, just so that it just becomes like an unintentional cue that they're going to be getting rewarded if they are good puppies. Okay, so obviously, if your dog is going to mug it the whole time, you can't do that. Um, but we're going to go through Zen bowls, so we'll talk about that at another time. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this is basically I'm going to make sure my dog is okay with me touching her. So I'm going to put my hand on her shoulder, mark and reward. If she's okay with that, I'm going to go down to her foot, mark and reward. Same thing to her foot, mark and reward. You can also intersperse petting if they're comfortable with it and they're not feeling uncomfortable. You know your dog is uncomfortable if you can see. So for her, her ears are forward. She's pretty intent on the treats. So she's obviously not upset about what's going on. But if your dog is starting to cringe, their ears are back, they've got really big eyes that kind of look like whale eyes, then you're going too fast and we need to take a step back. And we should talk about that in class, okay? So I'm just going to pet her a couple times and then I'm going to rest my hand on her foot, mark and reward. Same thing with the ear. Some dogs don't like being touched on the face, which makes sense. I mean, it's a sensitive area of their body. So if they're okay with it, right, make sure that you can touch the base of their ears, mark and reward. Don't pull on their ear, but just lightly caress their ear so they are comfortable with it. And then to the feet. I like to be able to handle their feet, so I like to be able to touch it. If they're not willing to let you touch their feet, then you need to just stay at the level that they're comfortable. So if I grabbed her foot and she pulled away, that tells me that she's too uncomfortable and that I need to be a little bit nicer, which means I'm probably going to go from her shoulder down to basically where this little bone is and hold this for a little bit and just keep rewarding her. Lots of treats for this. This is not a place to be stingy. This is a great thing to do for their dinner time or when you're watching TV and you don't really want to be doing any training. You can feed them their dinner while you're watching TV. So I'm just touching her and rewarding. You don't have to use the clicker if you don't want to. I just want you to have the dog associate your touching with lots of good things. All right, so that's touching the ears and the feet. Again, try not if they start pulling back or look avoidant, then just go to the previous place you're at and work back towards the place they were uncomfortable. If you've done a lot of eardrops before you've done this work, you may find that you're going to have to do a lot of this, like I'm near your ears but I'm not really work, because they've just had some negative associations that we're going to work through by just giving them lots of yummy food. All right, so next thing is the brush. Rive does not love the brush, so we'll see what happens. So I have the brush in my hand, click and treat. Yeah, she's wondering if this is a game. Gonna have it near her, yes. So I should be able to do this. I'm just brushing air, yes, good girl. And then eventually I would be putting the brush on their shoulder, yes. To the point where you can actually put the brush into their fur. Yes. If you forget to say yes, that's fine. For this exercise, it's really just about feeding them. Okay, because we want just them to associate good things, which normally is food. And just work up slowly to the point where you can brush them. Hardest places to brush a dog are going to be behind their ears, right? So you're going to need to work up to that. Um, so if you're just starting out, start on their shoulders and their backs. Um, Also the hair on the back of their feet, um, back of their legs. That can, if you've got a long-haired dog like Rave is, like that can get kind of tangled up. So that's going to be harder for them. So just keep that in mind, right? So again, we just want to make sure that they're comfortable and trying not to get away from us. Good. So every time you handle your dog in this way, you're going to be putting more rewards into the piggy bank, and they're going to be happier to know that you're working with them. Okay?